Living with Omni-Channel Logistics. Well, joining us to speak about that today is Steve Banker, Service Director, Supply Chain Management at ARC Advisory Group. Steve, welcome.
Thank you.
Steve, I guess maybe what we ought to do, beginning, is to define our terms. Omni-Channel Logistics. Now, just what is that? Walk us through it.
Yeah, well, I think Omni-Channel Logistics is one of the hottest things to come to retail in quite a long time. And it's the idea that the channels are not disconnected. It's not an e-commerce channel versus a store channel. It's the ability to go to a store and order something to be delivered to your house, or to order at home and go and pick it up at the closest store. And then all the same permutations around returns. So return to store or return back to the e-fulfillment center, regardless of where you purchased it.
Let me just ask you, it occurs to me that sometimes you hear about terms like merged channels and that sort of thing, multi-channel logistics. Are we talking essentially about the same thing when we discuss omni-channel logistics?
I think we are. I think omni just means all channels, but I think we're talking exactly the same thing.
Now, clearly this is a hot topic if you look in the business press. I mean, it pops up. I guess the question is why? Why is this something that seems to be top of mind, at least for supply chain folks right now?
Yeah, well, I'm surprised it hasn't been top of mind earlier for retailers. Amazon has gradually been stealing market share from the retailers. The retailers are overstored. They have too many stores based on their customers. And they are looking for a way to compete against Amazon. And that has been learning how to leverage their stores more effectively in that competition.
Now, it's interesting. You use a very interesting term, overstored. Does this mean, if we're living in an omni-channel world, that I can start expecting to see stores disappear on the retail landscape? What does it mean for the store?
I think that's exactly what it means. As more and more people order more and more things over the internet for home delivery, we just don't need as many stores.
Well, I wonder how retailers are feeling about that. I know that's going to be a major adjustment for them, because while omni-channel seems to be something that's positive, closing stores may have some downside to it. I wonder, what's your thought on that?
Well, you know, you want to make a certain amount of money per capital investment, and so they may have to close some stores. But anytime you close stores, you lose revenues. So there's math that they're going to have to do.
Let's talk about the transportation aspect of this. In an omni-channel world, what does that mean? What does it spell for transportation?
Well, I think the most interesting thing is a few weeks ago, Amazon reported on a study they did. And they did a study among their Amazon Prime members. And in certain metropolitan areas, they gave those Amazon Prime members an icon that allowed for same-day delivery. And what they discovered is the abandoned cart problem, where people pick something, they put it in a shopping cart, and then they decide, for whatever reason, not to complete the purchase. Those abandoned carts dropped by 20 to 25%, even though the majority of people decided not to do same-day delivery. Now, you take that over to traditional retailers, and what they're starting to ask is, okay, if same-day delivery is that kind of benefit, what would happen if we could get to same-hour delivery? Because that's something Amazon won't be able to do. They use UPS, they use FedEx, and the way that transportation system works is goods go into the UPS sorting center, they get sorted, they load multiple customers' stuff onto a truck, and then they make a milk run. And to get to same-hour delivery, you need a courier network and you need point-to-point deliveries. Someone going to the store, picking the goods up, and delivering them right to, somebody's house in that city.
So if I understand correctly, then someone is ordering either online or perhaps by phone,
right,
and then a courier goes to the store, which presumably is relatively close to the end user, to the customer, the consumer here, and they will bring that item of apparel or whatever it is to the purchaser.
Right, and there's advantages beyond convenience, right? So If you think about a city environment, city neighborhoods, and you're buying some expensive piece of goods, you don't really want that package dropped at your doorstep. You know, you want to be there when it's delivered. And I think there's a lot of folks that will say, I know I can be here for the next hour, but pick a 4-hour segment of the day where I'm sure I'm going to be there for all 4 hours. That's just not realistic for a lot of folks.
Now, I'm not sure how much that increases the cost of that item to build in courier service. And is this being done anywhere, and how successful, if so?
Yeah. It's being experimented with in the United Kingdom by a company called Shuttle, and that's spelled S-H-U-T-L. And they have, basically they're a middleman type company that has technology. They've got a network of couriers. You know, if you want, different retailers are doing it different ways. For some retailers, if you want a delivery within the next hour or two, you have to pay extra. Other retailers believe that helping to solve that abandoned cart problem is payment enough. I think it just depends a lot on the product and the product margin and the retailer.
Now, I just want to return for one moment to the study that Amazon did here, because abandoned shopping carts, of course, is a problem, you know, for retailers. Obviously, they want everybody to go through with the acquisition once they get to the site and they say, yes, I'll buy this particular item. And you're saying that by offering same-day delivery, even though a number of people ultimately decide at the checkout counter not to opt for same-day delivery, a fewer number of these people in aggregate are abandoning the sale altogether. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
And what do they attribute that to?
You know, they didn't have an attribution. A lot of times when you do these experiments, you have these findings and you hypothesize after the course on why that is. I don't think they know why it is.
But still, it seems to be good news for them, eh?
It's very good news.
All right. Well, this has been a great overview of Omni-Channel Logistics. I appreciate it, Steve, that you found time to meet with us on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Russell.
That's Steve Banker, ARC Advisory Group, and speaking with us today about the Omni-Channel Logistics world that we are in and will be in for some time. Thank you for watching.